Yeah, me, I have my grandson, Tony. I had him since he was 6 months old because my daughter had got in a little bit of trouble. Unrelated to any of this. It was a mistake that she did. And I ended up getting custody of him. But I will not release custody to him because I am so scared that, and right now he's he'll be 5 years old next year. He just turned 4, but he's 4 years old. I had him since he was 3 months old. And he just turned 4. And I will not release him to her because I'm so scared that they'll try to take him eventually one day. Because my daughter recently got married, had a baby, and had a baby girl, and they were not going to release the baby from the hospital. And this right here was November of last year, because they had her case open even though it was closed in Wake County, North Carolina.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon either. They say it's an accident. Sometimes they correct it. Sometimes they don't.
Right. So I talked to the caseworker there at the hospital, and she seemed to be really nice. And, you know, we kind of connected. We're kind of grandmothers. She was telling me about her grandkids and things like that. Anyway, she said, well, are you going to go and pick them up and kind of release? I feel better until I can find out if the case is closed. And I told her, yes, ma'am, I sure will. I said, I'm raising one of her other children, you know, and I didn't get into detail about that. So, but she comes so close to not being able to take her daughter home because Cumberland County was trying to jump into it, you know. I was so scared they were going to try to take the baby away just because my daughter, her two children were taken, Malachi and Zechariah, due to the mother-in-law that started all this. You have no due process.
And then they sort of perpetuated this allegation against you that you were somehow racist.
That what?
That you were somehow racist. And that's why was that like a reason why you weren't grounded?
Yes, they made up a bunch of lies. It's called creative evidence. Okay, when they can't find nothing on you, they're going to create something. Okay? And it's up to me or up to my attorney or whatever to prove I'm not. They can call you anything they want to. Okay? I'm not racist. Never have been. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm the one who got my daughter and her first husband married because she was pregnant, and I don't believe in, you know, being pregnant without being married.
Wow.
So, therefore, yeah, they loved each other, and, you know, they went to church, and I talked them into getting married instead of living, you know, living in sin, living together, which I don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. So I went up there, and I witnessed everything. And like I said, I paid for their place. I paid for their little honeymoon. I bought my grandson everything that he needed. And the mother-in-law, I mean, she kept interfering in their marriage. She did not want her son to be with my daughter. And like I told, I'm sorry?
I was just saying, it's so sad. There's so many hands that are involved in sabotaging the children and families, and you know, it's just so sad for the children. It really is. What is the state of CPS now? It's 2019 there where you're at.
Well, it's the same old, just different year. Unless the president or unless our laws can be changed to abolish CPS, change the laws on incentives, keep the children in the home, do in-home services if needed while the family are together. The children would be better off and would be, you know, they would most likely be in the home and not get adopted. But instead, they take the children out of the home for even stupid things that CPS does within their families, okay? Because they take them for whatever reason, for any reason. It doesn't have to be anything drastic. They'll take them. And it's the way that they get money. They get money through incentives. Chapter 4, Title 4 incentives or something like that. But her caseworker has since retired. But am I upset about it? Yeah, I'm very upset. Am I distraught? Extremely angry inside, to the point that I can't even really talk about it anymore. It's hard for me. It's just wrong. It's child trafficking.
It is wrong.
You know, it's child trafficking within our government. They become an agency. They become an agency of a business. Mm-hmm. Poor children have poor families have children. They take them like cattle. You know.
Yeah.
They take them and sell them off. It's like the modern day slavery. It's what we're living in.
Exactly. And
they feel like they have that right. They feel like they know more how to raise our children than we do.
No, and they all have this sort of mantra, you know, racist, misogynist, social communist.
And what gets me is, I have reported many years ago children that I knew that were being abused. I mean, really being abused. Bruises all over their back, face, and everything. Even seeing the father hitting with his fist. I reported it. Nothing was ever done. Nothing. Zilch. They cannot sell off damaged goods. Okay, when children are being abused, they're considered damaged goods. Parents want children that are not considered damaged goods. And they want babies, young children. But every day, every month, every year that a child is in foster home, the county or the city gets richer and richer. And then the money they have goes out to bonuses and for other things. But they do not care about the welfare of the children. They do not.
Well, I'm so grateful for you coming on today, and it's been so long since we've talked. And I know this is really hard for you, but I
get very overwhelmed. If y'all could go out and read the story where it was freshly done and reported, even update, then you'll see where I'm coming from. But I have a tendency of jumping from one thing to another because it's so overwhelming and hurtful, and
you're traumatized. You know, and that's the thing with a lot of these parents is they have a hard time focusing because they are traumatized. They do have PTSD, you know, and it's unfortunately it's one of the side effects of what we go through. The children get ADHD, which is a childhood form of PTSD, and the parents.
And I have post-traumatic stress disorder from this whole thing, and I mean it's really heartfelt. Every time I read a story, I'm going to kidnap. You know, I get like panic attack. Because it happened to my family, to my daughter. But another thing that people out there need to know is do not ever sign a service plan. It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of money that goes out to other providers, like the psychological doctor and other people. You do your parenting classes. You do everything they tell you to, and it's like, psych, you don't get your kids, even though they promise you that you'll get your children. CPS, Child Protective Services, and I know that for a fact in Wake County, North Carolina, is a bunch of liars. And I know y'all hear some hostility in me, and yes, I am very hostile when it comes to these people because I can see what have they done to my family. I can see right through them. When I read stories, it's just like from other states, it's just like a carbon copy of what's happened in Wake County, North Carolina.
I want to mention, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris was in South Carolina on Saturday, and she spoke to a crowd of at least 200 inside a Charleston Arena Convention Center where there's community organizers and government agencies there. And I just want to remind the people that are listening in South Carolina or even North Carolina, Kamala Harris founded the Children's Bureau of Justice in 2000. I think it was, I want to say it was in like 2013. But it was supposed to do investigations regulating child protective services, fraud on the court, report, stressing the role of mandated reporters, investigating suspected child abuse cases, things of that nature, protect youth against discrimination. But I want to point something out that's really important to my listeners, that she founded this Children's Bureau back, I want to say it was 2011, 2013. You can go to advokids.org. I'll post a link in the comments to the article. But, since she founded that Children's Bureau of Investigation, child trafficking out of child protective services has risen to almost 80% nationwide. And, when she originally founded it, I think it was like 60%. So that's a huge increase. And, and that's her bureau, her Children's Justice Bureau. So I just wanted to point that out.
Are you talking about an 80% of taking children away?
No, it's an agency that investigates corruption within child protective services that's supposed to regulate, where there's incidences that aren't being investigated of child abuse, to protect foster youth against discrimination, to ensure that foster youth have education, independency or juvenile court systems, things of that nature. Legal advocacy and efforts are focused on preventing childhood trauma in foster care. Things of, there's a hotline that was established to contact the staff. And we did in Port Hold Justice, I think it was back in 2014, we had a letter campaign when she established this Children's Bureau, reporting the fraud on the court in numerous cases. And all of the members reported back to me that they received the same uniform letters, that their case did not qualify for their department to investigate. And they just referred them to another department, I think like the DOJ or the FBI. So that was back in 2014, but it's just shocking to me that there's such a huge increase in the amount of children that are being child trafficked out of foster care, that the number increase from 60% almost to 80% is incredible.
But about 20% of those children are being abused.
Yeah.
The 80% are not. And I have no trust in our government. The only president since I've been alive that we've had that's been following what he's supposed to and living up to his promises is President Trump. And we need to really get this to him. He could change it. He will change it. He can't be bought like everybody else can be bought.
And I hope that, we can preserve free speech, by re-electing him and keeping free speech, going. Because
the Democrats are trying to take away our speech, Amelia. They're trying to take away our speech. They're trying to silence us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't want to know what our government's doing. They don't want people to know that our children are being kidnapped and being sold.
Yeah.
They won't hush. They don't want these stories out.
Well, we're getting them out. We're getting them out, and I hope Terry LaPointe of Medical Kidnap doesn't give up.